Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here. I thought I'd show a quick video on a way for you to expand a little bit of your space if you're kind of limited for something just temporary. This is something that I've done for the second year. Um, it started as a kind of a practice build project for a horticulture class I had last year, and I've kind of redone it this year just as a little quick way to get myself some extra space. So what I've got going here is I have 10-foot electrical conduit that is screwed into an 8-foot 2x4, and then this whole thing, these are just plastic drop cloths. They're fairly small, they're cheap, and they are disposable. Now inside, this is where I keep a lot of my extra stock. So in this case, I ran out of room inside, so I'm kind of growing in a little temporary greenhouse out here. So there's hollyhocks in the back, this is verbena in the front, and back there is Liatris spicta, otherwise known as Kansas gayfeather. It's a really pretty plant. So with this, it is pretty basic construction. It's just like you'd see on a normal great big greenhouse, only done smaller. So it is a hoop frame. It does have a plastic end wall on one side, or a Lexan end wall on that side. And then here I'm just using the drop cloth for my end here. It's secured with ties. The other thing I do for heat, I just run a little small box heater. And I've got them set up on actually roof de-icing cable thermostats. They turn on at 45 degrees. So that's what this is actually run on. The other thing I learned from kind of trial and error, let me scooch back a little bit, is you'll see that there's a box here. There's space all around it, so it's not going to burn. But that box there directs the heat up into the greenhouse. I had it pointed forward last year and learned a hard lesson, lost a whole bunch of plants right in front of it because it was too hot, even though they were like 2 foot from it. So this separates the plants and allows me to get really close. Oh, it's maybe 18 inches wide and 2 feet deep, and the heater just sits in the center there. So this is just a little quick way to expand a little bit of growing space, and it gives a chance for some students to do a greenhouse build and have something that they can see how it goes together and then build one at home if they want to expand their vegetable growing season. All said and done, see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, I think it was about $65 or $70 for that little expanded growing space. I'm going to put a couple more of these in while I'm waiting for the construction to start on our bigger house, and I'll put my tomatoes and marigolds out there too. I do have another one in the back that is holding my perennials. So I've got some iris and some daylilies and a few other perennials back there in another one of these greenhouses, also run with a little box heater and a 45-degree de-icer thermostat. So basically it runs the cable de-icers, and if the temperature dips below 45, it kicks on and allows the heat to come on, and it keeps them simply from freezing. But once it gets warm, we open up the ends in the morning and allow the air to just move freely through there. We close it up at night and then make sure that the heater thermostats are plugged in and it's good to go. But that's just a little quick cheat on how to build a greenhouse. This is something that's going to be a part of that curricula that I'm writing. It's going to be a practice greenhouse for them, and it can be it's going to be more of a demonstration model. So if they don't have a big one, they can have a small one, and then they can run experiments inside of that greenhouse without having to change settings in a rather large greenhouse, like in a full commercial size or the rest of the school greenhouse. But it is fairly quick and simple. You know, they've just got some little strips here that are screwed in, rolled around the plastic drop cloth. That's all it really needs to be. It doesn't need to be anything fantastic. These generally get beat up, but they are good enough to keep things from freezing, and it gives you a little bit of an expansion on that. I think it's roughly 6 feet wide and 8 feet long. So it's not huge, but it is enough to pay for itself, more than pay for itself. And yeah, that's a little greenhouse project I had. All right, I teach your thoughts out.